guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Kazzie, and in today's video, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I got in June. Weirdest intro ever, but as I said, I'm going to stick with it because, you know, I'm me and I want to. For most of June, I thought I was just going to have the one book, but then Waterstones happened and eBay happened, so I've got some more books than one to show you guys. So like with most videos, I'm going to start off with the repurchases, and the first repurchase that I have is How to Forget by Kate Mulgrew. This is from Waterstones, and I wanted to support her in Waterstones so that Waterstones would get more books from her, because everywhere needs to sell her books. Eason's does, which I was pretty shocked by. When I was in Eason's, I saw How to Forget sitting there with a big sticker on the page. I was like, oh my god, it is in Eason's. And Eason's in Belfast. Oh my god. I could not stop freaking out. And the fact it was the hardback. Eason's rarely does hardbacks. It always gets like the paperbacks of everything. So this is from Waterstones. I repurchased it because this is going to be the pristine edition because I annotated the living shit out of this one. And I've actually stuck pictures and all in. And I did this little sheet here. And this is her Alzheimer's kind of portrait, which is on the page for her mother. I also stuck in a photo of the playbill for Tea at 5 when she's talking about Tea at 5, and I have like other things dotted here, there, and everywhere in this book. So I have a pristine edition and this one. So when I'm going down to Galway to meet her in 2 weeks today, when I am filming this, this is going up on Friday. I'm filming this on the Sunday, so I will be like a week and a bit away from meeting her when you are seeing this. I'm so excited. I've already met her. She's amazing. So I'm bringing the annotated one and the pristine one. Hopefully she will sign both. And I'm bringing my annotated version of Born with Teeth and a pristine edition as well. Not that I'm trying to get her to sign all of them, but I'm doing stuff with Born with Teeth that I'm hopefully going to vlog so that you guys get to see me deface it. It's not as scary as it sounds. But yes, I have another copy of How to Forget. The tally for Born with Teeth currently stands at 4. 2 hardbacks, paperback, and the large print edition, which I bought accidentally, and the audiobook, so 5. The next repurchase I have is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. This is the 20th anniversary edition of the house colours. I am a Ravenclaw, so I've got the Ravenclaw house colours. I love these editions so much. It's weird that the Chamber of Secrets, it's blue with black. So it's like kind of, they're doing like the inverse every other book. So that's going to be interesting on the shelves. And I have a third copy of Inkheart by Cornelia Funke. Inkheart is one of my favorite books of all time. I have my original copy. I have a hardback edition with no dust jacket on it. Thank you, eBay seller. This one that I got in Oxfam Books for £1. £1. Oh my gosh, I could not resist it. It is gorgeous. I love this cover of it. The spine is not that broken. It's just a little wear and tear. Could not resist it. Now, moving on to the book that I'm currently reading, and also one of, obviously, the purchases in June, and that is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. This is just the dust jacket because the book is currently on my desk. I have a desk, by the way. I'm like so freaking excited. I am obsessed with my desk. Yeah, I am that kind of pathetic adult that I'm just like, I'm so excited that I have a desk. Because for years, when doing like homework and uni work and essay work and any kind of work, I was either using the dining room table, the floor, or a couch, or my bed. So when I started learning how to hand letter during the week, I was like, I need something better than the floor or the couch. So I found myself in IKEA and I got a desk. So excited. Still obsessed. I'm going to be obsessed for a while, so you might hear about my desk in plenty of videos. So, Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. This follows Elizabeth, who is an orphan, but she was abandoned at this great library that houses grimoires. And basically, a grimoire, the way I have it in my head, is like the book that they use in study of magical creatures in Harry Potter. And you stroke the spine. That kind of book. And the book that is used in Hocus Pocus. Those kind of books, but in a library. You can imagine how interesting that would be. But Elizabeth is framed for something, and she has to use the help of kind of like her arch enemy to clear her name. I'm only a couple of chapters in. I'm taking a very relaxed reading week at the start of July, but nevertheless, I'm enjoying it. I'm getting to the part where the shit hits the fan, so I'm enjoying it. And this is the first book that I've ever read by Margaret Rogerson. And Enchantment of Ravens didn't seem to appeal to me, so I didn't pick that one up. But when I was in Waterstones and I saw The Sorcery of Thorns, I looked it up on Goodreads, read through most of the reviews. They all seem to be very, very positive, and they all seem to really love it, and so that sold me. I bought it, and I'm currently reading it. I also have this bind up of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, a complete trilogy of 5 by Douglas Adams. I have no idea which ones are all included in this. Okay, why is that word so hard to say? The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, Life, the Universe and Everything, So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, and Mostly Harmless, plus a bonus short story, Young Zaphod Plays a Thief, and an undeleted scene. I'm like, is that the title of it, or is like an undeleted scene not just a scene that's in it? But I've always wanted to read A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I watched most of the movie when I was younger. Really enjoyed it. That's where like Alan Rickman does the voice of the robot. And I think it's Martin Freeman plays the main character, Arthur Dent. So I'm very excited to read this. Brit from Basically Brit really loved it. So I was like, okay, excuse to read it. I've fallen head over heels for Basically Brit. I found her channel in June and pretty much just watched every video that she's ever done. I also picked up Sorcerer to the Crown by Zen Cho, which is the first book to this one, because I bought this one accidentally in Waterstones. Well, not accidentally, I actually just bought it, but I accidentally bought it without knowing that it is the sequel to this one, so I had to get this one.
The Royal Society of Unnatural Philosophers maintains the magic within His Majesty's land, but lately the once proper institute has fallen into disgrace, naming an altogether unsuitable gentleman as its Sorcerer Royal, and allowing England's stores of magic to bleed dry. At least this society hasn't stooped so low as to permit women to practice what is obviously a man's profession.
Right.
At his wits' end, Zacharias Wythe, Sorcerer Royal, ventures to the border of Fairyland to discover why England's magical stocks are drying up, an adventure that brings him into contact with Prunella Gentleman, a woman with immense power and an unfathomable gift, and sets him on a path that will alter the nature of sorcery in all of Britain and the world at large.
Woo! So floppy. Definitely interested in getting to that so I can get to this gorgeous beauty. I have Perfectly Preventable Deaths by Deirdre Sullivan. This is by an Irish author. I don't really read much of Irish authors, mostly because I don't really hear about them. But nevertheless, I'm very intrigued to read this one by Deirdre. It follows
16-year-old twins Maddie and Caitlin, who have moved from Ballyfran, an isolated, peculiar town in the mountains, a place where for generations teenage girls have gone missing. Caitlin has always been the confident one, and Maddie is used to being in her shadow. But in Ballyfran, their paths divide as Caitlin falls in love and Maddie begins to discover powers she never knew she had. Maddie will have to find something hidden deep within her if she is going to prevent her sister losing more than her heart to this strange town. But there's no compass for the human heart, and what feels right might be more dangerous than either sister realizes. There's no such thing as safe in Ballyfran.
This sounds so cool. I've read the first chapter, which is only like 3 pages long, the prologue. It seems fascinating. I think it might take a while to get used to Deirdre Sullivan's writing style, but nevertheless, look at this cover. It could be a wild ride. Next I have Nocturna by Maya Motain, I want to say her surname is. I have no real clue what this book is about. I can't remember. A faceless thief, a desperate prince, a darkness unleashed. I first encountered this book on Brittany the Bibliofly's channel when she unboxed this from, I think, Fairy Loot, or I'll create one of these subscription boxes where it's like blue. I was like, yes, give me the blue edition, but obviously this is the normal one. But what really sold me about it is when she read the inside jacket of it, and the first 3 words are in Spanish. Magia para todos, which is magic for all. I was sold instantly.
To Finian Voy, magic is 2 things. A knife to hold under the throat of someone who crosses her, and a disguise she shrugs on as easily as others pull on cloaks. As a talented face shifter, it's been years since Finn has seen her own face, and that's exactly how she likes it. But when she gets caught by a powerful mobster, she's forced into an impossible mission. Steal a legendary treasure from Castellan's royal palace or be stripped of her magic power. For Prince no idea how to pronounce his name. Magic is an escape, but one that comes with a price. First in line for the throne after the disappearance of his older brother, Alfie is desperate to find him and bring him home, even if it means dabbling in forbidden magic. And when Finn and Alfie's fates collide, they realise magic can be other things too, and the type they accidentally release into the world is something neither of them expects or understands. It's hungry.
This sounds amazing, and the way that Finian's surname is Voy, in Spanish, boy means I go. So, like, Boy al cine is like, I go to the cinema. So, like, her name is very adventurous sounding. But I definitely am going to be intrigued by this because it seems to have such, like, Spanish Latin vibe to it. And when I was just, like, just doing that, I saw the name Paloma. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, yes. Paloma means dove in Spanish. Very intrigued by this. And the last book that I got in, what month was it? June? I'm distracted by the clouds that have really screwed up my exposure. And the last book that I got in June was this gorgeous illustrated edition of the DaVinci Code by Dan Brown. I bought Inferno, not knowing it was like the 4th book in the series. On brand, Kazzie. So I found this gorgeous illustrated edition on eBay for like £3, $2.99, free shipping. Hell yes. I've always wanted to read this. I've wanted to watch the movies because, you know, Tom Hanks. It all seems fascinating to me, and then Paul Bettany is in the movies as well.
Why have I not watched them yet?
I don't know. I'm stupid. This is an illustrated edition. Whenever they're talking about places, there's going to be a map or a photo or something that explains where the heck they are and what the hell they're looking at. Because just look at that. It is so ingenious that they have done something like this for people, you know, that can't get to Rome, obviously. Like, I've been to Rome several times, but I would never know any of this, especially when they're like talking about Da Vinci and things like that. Because like the prologue starts with the death of the Virgin by Caravaggio. It's just incredible, and the fact that I got it so freaking cheap is a steal. It's like, what's the regular retail value on this? £20. I got it for like a tenth of that. Awesome. I gotta stop hitting the leg of the fucking tripod. So there I have it, guys. Those are all of the books that I got in June. Granted, 3 of them are repurchases, but that's me. If I love a book enough, I will repurchase it. Or if it has an awesome design, I will repurchase it. Let me know in the comments down below which one of these I should prioritize. Remember, I am currently reading Sorcery of Thorns. That was meant to be that I am currently reading Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!